Hey there, Virgo community. Soul Tigress here with a story for this wonderful community. Now, I'm not sure what's going to come out, but definitely, as always, I'm catching a vibe. And the vibe is, something's not being said. The Virgo in this story feels out on their own, rolling from one thing to another. Silence. And this silence could be something that's like the calm before the storm. 3 times. Is this 3 strikes and you're out? This Virgo's out, leaving life to chances, almost like the character Two-Face, Harvey Dent in the newer ones, Batman series, where he had the coin, and the coin had the same faces on both sides, but he had X'd one out. And he always left it to chance, and it was whatever this coin ended up landing on would determine the outcome. So there might be something there that's happening with this Virgo, maybe wanting to throw the towel in because they're questioning their beliefs. But when I see that, I feel like your guides are here. There was a lot of 3s coming up. I can't remember how the 3s I got correlated when I was coming into here, but I could tell you there's 3 oracle decks, and there was another 3 that stood out. So let's go 3, 3, 3. Keep faith. Seek guidance from your guides. And I'm here to confirm that the guides are here, and they're saying ask for help. Ask for help. And this can be in more than one way. It could, yes, do it spiritually, but if you need to seek out resources, don't be afraid to seek out those resources. Don't be too proud to go and ask for help, because you never know what you may find. What you could have been questioning, what you could have been standoffish about, could be the opening gate to something different. Maybe something that helps a person have a little less tension from dealing with the everyday variables in life. Because let's face it, living life is hard. Afraid of something slipping away. And then I got an image of a star. So what I feel like for the Virgo, it's being afraid that their dream, their ideal outcome is slipping away. Or it could slip away. Maybe because there's a lot of fumbling, or they're feeling like they're going to fumble something. And again, just take your time and practice gratitude. Water. Drink some water. Level out with your emotions. Feel how you're feeling. It's for a reason. For the Virgo in this story. A change of perspective can happen. But the Virgo is going to need to seek some kind of guidance from a counselor. It could be a therapist. It could be somebody in their community who's a mentor, who is a matriarch, who's an evolved matriarch, who's an evolved elder in their community. There might be something there. There just might be something that is the missing piece to the part of the puzzle that Virgo's working on. Alright, so that's what I'm picking up. And as you can see, the ancestors, spirit guides, angels of protection, divine and universal energy, as always, gets called in. And the spirit guides are right here, standing front and center. I feel like right there at my shoulder, like, let's go. Alright, so let's open it up. Let's see what needs to come out for the introduction. So something that Virgo's not seeing, and they're on the flip side about it. They're in reverse. I'm in awe of the great guidance I have access to. So this means Virgo is not feeling like this. They're feeling quite opposite, because this did come out face down and in reverse. What I hear Virgo saying is, nobody really cares. I'm out here by myself. I'm always by myself. I'm always the one who sees the stuff, who tries to work my hardest, but it doesn't get me anywhere. Where is anything at right now when I need it the most? And what else Virgo's at odds ends with is, I release time. Let the universe tell me what to do. Again, Virgos, where is it? Where is it that I'm looking for? Where is it? I should have it by now. It should be here. Whatever Virgo in the story is working on. Whatever struggle, whatever situation they've been dealing with that they're trying to make. I would say you're turning lemons into lemonade, but there isn't enough sugar. But you're trying to make it work, but it isn't enough sugar. Honey, you got to put the lemons down and you got to go get some sugar. Let's see what else that they're not really feeling. When I'm in a state of appreciation, my vibrations are aligned with the true loving nature. That appreciation. What is there to be thankful for when I'm sick and tired of dealing with everything that takes advantage of me? Everything, I'm showing up and it's still the same struggle. It's still the same thing. What is there to be thankful for? That's what I'm hearing that Virgo say right there with that one. What else needs to come out? Confused, but it's still there. It's still there. I enter faith step by step. I feel like there's little breaks that are happening and Virgo is still saying, thank you, divine. Thank you, universe. Oh, thank you. And then they're catching themselves up like, oh, could that have been the workings? Even though it was something so small, could that have been the workings of the divine, of the universe, of whatever my beliefs are in? All right. 2 more cards. 2 more cards. All right, something else Virgo isn't believing in. They're not wanting to see eye to eye with it. Is the universe has big plans for me. It's time to put them to rest. I had to make sure I read that right. Sometimes I feel like I have dyslexia. So yeah. Excuse that pause. I'll put myself out there. I don't care. I'm not perfect. Oh, well. So, I feel like Virgo feels like the struggle is their only blessing that they have. That there's not these bigger plans. I still feel like Virgo's drained. From the previous 2 stories, I feel like this is that drained energy, and whatever that situation that they have been dealing with for years and years that was really overbearing on them. I feel like somehow Virgo has intook so much that they could have made a step into the direction that they wanted to go. They know that there's a storm coming, but there's just so much calm that they can't see that there's others beside them helping them to prepare for the storm. And by the others, I mean the guides and the ancestors, all of them. All right, last card for this introduction. Ooh, 2 cards. 777. Let's go for a spiritual awakening. You have listened and it's time to reap the awards. You did that first step. Well, if you're going to play the game of life, life's going to keep matching you move for move. And when you want to get going somewhere else, you really got to put in the work. And sometimes it's a steep start on that new path. Something else Virgo's not really filling at one with is, don't worry about the future. I know everything will be fine when I stay in tune with the present moment. No, the future, that's what they're really worrying about. They're over analyzing it. For some reason, when they're looking at the picture, it's not making sense. They can't make the picture fit, or they can't see how everything's going to come together. And another thing that they don't see and that they're directly at odds end with is, my receptivity is measured by how well I practice good feelings and thoughts. That's what it is. We're going to take a little detour. This is pretty big in the head right here. This is really big on being hard on themselves. Hard on themselves for taking that notion of wanting to believe in their purpose or where they're meant to go, and being able to take that first step out and then what comes after it. A lot of times what comes after that first step isn't always like the barrage of the fortune coming. No, sometimes when you make that first step, that's when stuff really hits the fan. Things, the vehicle's messing up. You got money out the door spent, and you can't really be spending it. You're having to make so many other investments when you thought everything was fine, kind of thing. When you stepped out, you thought that day... I used to live in Colorado, so they say that you could really tell if a person wasn't from Colorado, especially in the fall and the spring, because they did not know how to dress for weather. Because in that state, you can have all 4 seasons in one day. And primarily, in my experience, it was in the fall and spring. So what it is you're stepping out in a new place, a new area, and you're upset because what's coming your way, what type of weather type of thing, you feel like you're not prepared for. But in reality, if you'd go back in the house and chill a second, see what's going on, maybe get a resource such as the device, click on the weather channel and see what the perspectives of that day for the temperature, the weather, and grabbing a jacket or grabbing some sandals. There is a superpower in flexibility and adaptability. And when you step out in a new direction, that's when it's time to flex that superpower. But that's also the time when you're going to be tested too. You can step out in one direction thinking that you're supposed to go one way, and it doesn't work out that way. You're actually meant to go a different way. And I will take this quick detour. Virgos, thank you for your patience. But when I went to go to school to enroll to do the new career at that time, or the current career that I'm in, I would have never tried applying for the career that I'm in now, because it was something that I never seen for myself. But what happened was I went to this school and I took their test, and the original program that I wanted to go in, accounting, because that's always a safe zone there. You don't want to treat your accountants like shit, right? So, with that being said, that program wasn't offered there anymore. So they took me on a detour, and they gave me my test results, and the career that I'm in right now was the number 1 pick, followed by a few other ones. And I wanted to detour to those other ones, but the intuition was pulled so strong to my current career. So I went through a lot of, it was hard to get through that program when I took those first steps, even to getting graduated, even to starting in that career. The reason why I share this detour with you is because it takes a lot of work from the first step to get to where you ideally want to be. And a lot of times you're not seeing it, you're not knowing why you're being guided to it, but it's happening for a reason. When you look back 10 years from that point, you will understand what that reason is. You'll understand why that was a part of your purpose. Sometimes you're not given the cheat codes to life. They're not going to sit here and tell you, oh, well, if you do this, then you get this. No, that's not how it works. You kind of have to go along for the ride without knowing what's fully on the ride. All right, that's a part of learning how to be in the moment. All right, so let's start with the present. And as you see, dun, dun, dun. So let's get it going. We got something we can't see, and we got, or something we can see, and we got a few things we can't see. So let's see what's going on. So I have a lot of queens here. So could there be more than one person that's telling Virgo at this time that whatever you're doing, it's not okay, it's not right? Or could Virgo not be grounded in the decisions that they're making, not really being kind to themselves about even making this first move, maybe even being really, really impatient with themselves when it comes to what they feel like could be little inconveniences that they're making, little mistakes, little blocks that are coming in. Again, when you take this first step onto this path in a new direction in your journey towards your purpose, it's really rough. And what they feel like is that the guidance is out. I have the Temperance right here. They don't see how it's going to be an ending to something, which is going to be a opening to something else. So again, they're not being optimistic. They're not seeing it. They're not feeling it. They could be feeling like they're really, really stuck. And if this is in the 3D where you're having other people who are telling you you're making mistakes, why are you doing what you're doing, you're weird, blah, 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 I'll forget them people. Your happiness is not their happiness. Your purpose is not their purpose. They're not going to understand because they haven't rode in the full time on your path like you have. They don't have all your experiences. All right, so what else needs to come out for the present for the Virgo community? I feel like things are really slippery in this community. So I have contracts. I have a 3 of Pentacles. Things that don't work out versus where I want to go. The fruits, my harvest, my cups, how they're filled. Are they filled with nightmares? Are they more filled with happy memories? Like, I don't know how to feel about all these past things that have happened to me. I really don't. Have I really had a happy life? Have I gotten to the point that I really wanted to be? I mean, I'm feeling kind of like unfair. I'm feeling like things are unfair because they haven't happened for me in the way that I've wanted them to. That's what Virgo's saying. That is what Virgo's saying. If anything, I would tell you that right now your guides are there with their hand on your shoulder, saying that this weight is not too much. It's not too much. This storm will not last forever. Whatever you feel like has got you swirling around and around and around and around to the point where you could be getting entangled in your emotions. It's not gonna last forever. You just have to believe. You have to believe. You have to believe. You have to be able to conquer that conflict. What is it that keeps having you go around in your thoughts? What is so conflicting? What is it that you can look at with the ease? I'm seeing with a sense of a loving nature towards. Instead of looking back and being hard on yourself and how, oh, I was this person, I was that, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. Giving it to the divine and saying, okay, if this was meant to work out like this, then why? Why was it meant to work out? Where am I meant to go? What is that bigger picture? A lot of times we don't see that bigger picture. We don't see the release. And here we go. We don't see the truth. Comes that Three of Swords. The truth. And what was really being grown. How deep did those roots go? Was it actually something that was going to produce a stable foundation? A stable foundation for what? What? For the mind. Because if whatever you're dealing with is causing you stress, it's not of a truthful situation, that's mind games. That is mind games. Uh-oh, what is going on with these earth signs? Because I know I mentioned that already for Taurus too. Alright. I'm hearing one shuffle. One shuffle. Let's go. What else needs to come out for the present? For the Virgo in this story. Oh, man. This is gonna be interesting. Alright, so on top of these mind games, things that are not being truthful, you know, dealing with that stuff, it has to do with a community, more than one person. And then I have this Eight of Swords. These people, you're not being truthful. The Virgo's not being truthful on how many times this person really, like, these situations hold Virgo in a sense captive, surrounded. Look at that. Surrounded. Look at that flower there. I almost want to call it a tulip. Surrounded. No chance to get out. Surrounded in multiple ways. Multiple variations. What it is Virgo keeps dealing with the person who comes at them every which way. A situation that comes at them every which way. What is the situation? It's something that they want to have a different choice with. They want to be tired with it. They want to sit here and take that. How do I balance, I would say, taking care of what I need to take care of versus, how do I put this? What I need to take care of versus how do I take care of me? Because I have that Three of Wands. A lot of times Three of Wands is having a big outlook. I have the Priestess, moon energy. That's going to be nurturing oneself, or how a person nurtures. High Priestess also goes into the Pisces. Again, it has to do with that kind of like mysticism kind of love. Also, putting an end to some stuff, because Pisces are a mutable sign. Choices between two. We have the Two of Pentacles and this Five of Cups. I think I was calling it the Four of Cups. Five of Cups. Wanting to release some stuff being stuck on. This is really beautiful because it's not really being drawn back to these others. What Virgo is trying to do is balance their internal scales. How can I take care of myself and take care of everything that I need to do? How can I mush these two spectrums of my life to where they can work together better, more easily? All right, so, well, let's go into block. Let's figure this out. I forgot to include that. Oh, hold on really quick. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so Virgo in this community, I forgot to mention, y'all, that I got the Crow's deck out here. So there can be some images that are a little graphic on here. If anything pops up, I'll let you know right away, and I'll warn you, kind of turn away, and then I'll give some kind of special ding, buzz, some kind of sound confirmation to let you know, hey, it's okay, that graphic image is gone. But I feel like we're kind of drawing out this present. We see what's going. We see what's really weighing on the Virgo's mind in this story. So we're done with it. It's time to really look at this block. And the reason why this deck gets chose for the block, because this is shadow side. This is Virgo getting ready to step into a place within themselves that they haven't put a lot of light to. It's that corner of the basement, I would say, that seems a little intimidating because there's no light there. So right here, I want to expose that there really isn't monsters there. It's just a part of Virgo that, how do I put this? It's a part of Virgo, or it's a part of a person, metaphorically, that just needs some extra touch. It could be extra light given so that we can figure out what we're going to do with that space so it's not so dark and intimidating. So let's go ahead and get into this block. What is it that needs to get into this block? I'm hearing a lot of cleaning. You got to clean stuff up. It's a lot of cleaning. Whether it's in the home, in the work environment, in the mind. I'm just feeling like there's tons of clutter. If I were to look, there's just clutter everywhere. It's built up. Let's get it out so we can let some new stuff in. And I have, look at that, another one, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Another one to come out. That was landing towards my root chakra. So in those contracts, this contract, the situation that Virgo is reflecting on, if you're feeling anxiety, some insecurity, fear, restlessness from it, it's finding a way. It is finding a way to come back to yourself and analyzing who you are at the end of the day. Because the thoughts, they can fool you. They can fool you, and they can fool you, and they can fool you some more. Especially if you haven't had the greatest communication with yourself. You have that history of not being able to communicate with yourself. Because right here, this is what I'm seeing. There's a big block towards communicating with yourself, communicating with your beliefs, communicating with your guides, your ancestors, the divine, the universe, your angels. Call them in. Call them in. Just call them in. They'll be there. Whenever you need them, they'll be there. And what do I have here? The moon. The moon. We're upside down on some beliefs. This lands on a Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. This says, I interface step by step. So sometimes with some tarot readers, I notice when they have the moon card come out in reverse, they could relate that to some, say, dark energy stuff. But when you have this moon card coming out onto the wands, the Queen of Wands in particular, Wands energy can be combative. Wands energy can be one that is very rash in their behavior sometimes, but it's also one that's very passionate. And what I'm seeing with this Queen of Wands, this is in reference either towards the situation or towards this Virgo as an individual. And the whole thing is they're getting very frustrated with themselves, or they're feeling like somebody's very frustrated with them. And it's to the point where it could be combative. And that every time a person is dealing with that and they put themselves in that situation to handle things like that, it takes them further away from feeling like they're walking with their faith. Handling situations with that darker kind of energy, taking stuff out on yourself, taking stuff out on the environment, and a darker energy will put you again farther away from feeling like you're going in that direction of the faith, that your beliefs are with you, that your angels, that you are protected. Because what happens is you become very reactive at that time. And what I'm getting is it's almost like you view as the whole world out to get you. That where you reside is not a place where the sun shines. So you always got to be suspicious. Suspicious, closed off, controlling of what's going on. You have to be careful. I told you we're diving into this shadow side right here. You got to be careful how you talk to yourself, how you work yourself down. Because when you're in an uproar, you could definitely make yourself react even more. You can feed that fire. You can. I have to, when I deal with people who are reacting, I have to watch for the cues on where they're just feeding their fire, and I have to just duck out. I can't do that. I'm not going to be a part of that because I'm going to shoulder that suffering. Be careful how you feel your fire. Just be careful. Because again, you can feel it in a negative way, and it could have very combative outcomes, whether between people or even onto self. All right, so right on this Pentacles, right on a little bit on those cups, I want to say, have that Two of Cups. Two of Cups. So definitely you feel like you're the selfish one. Always the selfish one. The one who's left out on their own. Left out on their own, not really having anything left to give because you gave everything you could, even though you feel like you're selfish. That tells me there's a lot of self-blame there. A lot of self-blame. This lands on the choices. So, not knowing how to give the gift, and the gift is being able to come out of conflict. What is that conflict? Oh man. That conflict is with the beliefs, with your guides, with your purpose. Why stuff happened to you. Why you keep dealing with stuff. Why it seems so unfair. That's exactly what that is. Let's get some clarity cards. I'm hearing a clarity card for the Temperance. Somebody wants to prove something. Somebody wants to prove something. What is it? What is it about this Temperance? It has to do with the Three of Swords, but here comes the Two of Swords. Didn't even know that was there, but I guess I felt it. So the clarification behind this Temperance and the Virgo in this story, being at odds ends with the belief, not finding the balance of why things are happening to him. And it's like feeling like everything's unfair, everything that's happened. It's just, I guess this is what I deserve, to be tangled up in this thorny mess with always things coming at me, always staying stuck, not knowing what choices to make or even if I have choices. And the first one that came out was that Three of Swords. Someone protects your feelings instead of telling the truth. One person in your relationship will be tempted to betray the other. Flaws in the relationship are overlooked because the positive aspects are worth keeping. Contented and happy with the relationship, you see no need to change anything. So this Two of Swords clarifies no major changes and few events. Your heart is closed off to avoid the possibility of pain. Emotional barriers protect you from love. You are basically in denial. Inability to accept the reality of your problems keeps the situation from changing. Take action and compromise to resolve the issues. Okay, so they called it out. They said that the Virgo in this story is not hearing the ref when the ref blows the whistle and throws the flag. Because I'm going to say the ref is some kind of omen, some kind of sign. That's that immediate up in your face, and that flag is something else that follows, that confirms it. It's that inner feeling, it's that light, it's that guidance that's being ignored. Putting up with something because the Virgo in this story feels like this is the hand that they've been dealt. This is the hand that I have to put up with. Oh man, that's not good. It's not true. It's not true. Whatever you want to obtain, it is for you. It may not be the exact ideal outcome. You may not get the like down to a T ideal outcome, but the outcome can unfold in a more beautiful way if you let it. And I feel like that's what's being said here. If you believe in it. I was guided to bring this one out. I'm feeling like this is what's going to confirm. Something's going to confirm this in here. So let's take a detour. What needs to come out for this block to confirm some stuff? I'm hearing the Three of Swords and the Two of Swords. What is it that needs to come out about this Three of Swords and Two of Swords? One more? Okay. All right. So, Three of Swords, Two of Swords. These contracts, the contracts that left you in reverse, left you feeling like, this is the hand that you're dealt. This is what you deserve. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing because these people aren't even real individuals. Wants to be like you, acts like you, dresses like you, looks like you, copies you. This is a mofo who steals destinies. This is a person, a place of employment, a business that will drain everything out of you and tell you that you're the problem. And what we don't see is they're not worth it. They're not worth it. The investment that you had put into all of this did not pay through. They will not pay through. It says broke ass, and a lot of people will take it as to money. But whatever you thought would have fulfilled this contract with this situation, it wasn't. That's what the guys are saying up front right here. This person wasn't genuine. They weren't shit. But you were given this. You're being given this confirmation, Virgo, in this story, because it's time to unblock yourself to it. Time to stop dressing yourself up like you're the villain the whole time. A lot of times the beliefs are tested by these individuals who are sent here to make us feel less on purpose, because that's what they capitalize. They're sent here. Yeah, they're sent here because they attest. If you believe that everything happens for a reason, then this is happening for a reason. It's being timed for a reason. And with the new moon in Pisces, or the new moon in Virgo, right here, you're on that flip side of what you need to do with this new moon. I'm going to tell you like this because this is an analytical community. Y'all, let's speak about it. So the new moon in Virgo speaks about health. They speak about hygiene, but it also speaks about the harvest. But for this new moon, it's all about how you take care of yourself, taking time to take care of yourself. And that is included in those thoughts. A new way of going on how to take care of yourself. Now, the full moon in Pisces, this is the interesting one too. This is how this plays into your story, Virgo, is the full moon in Pisces. If you've actually seen it, the true image, I guess, is two fishes that are tied together. But they're not swimming together in circles. They're actually swimming away from each other. And they're either tethered by their tails or they're tethered by a rope. Now, what the Pisceans symbolize with the two fish is two different perspectives, two different extremes. One is a mother, one is the son. One is masculine, one is feminine. So right here, what this translates for me between new and wisdom is, how can you get these two perspectives to swim together? How can we take everything that we've learned? One time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. 3 strikes, you're freaking out. You're out. So how can we take that wisdom with situations that we dealt with and we said we weren't going to do this anymore, and find a new way of dealing with anything that comes in our direction that makes us feel the same way, that whatever this broke ain't nothing but an impersonator. Impersonators, they were never giving. They weren't ever meant to be giving. Because this is Virgo's story right here, and we're in the chapter where Virgo's going to establish themselves by how they feel about themselves, how they get up, and that they're their hype men. Because right now you're being the one that's the critic. Don't be the critic. It's okay. It's gonna work out. Things are gonna happen. I guarantee it. But you gotta put in the work, and it starts with how you believe in yourself, how you're aligned with your gifts, your beliefs. Those emotions. How you view your emotional kingdom. Being able to dump all what you know out and start from the beginning again. Sometimes when you have to learn a whole new way of going, you got to start from scratch. A lot of people are scared to start from the intern position again. A lot of people are scared to go dive off into something that they really want to do, because that means starting at the bottom. But if you're scared of starting at the bottom, then you leave yourself closed off to where you're supposed to be going. Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. I was watching an interview with Michelle Obama, and one thing that she said when they were in office is that she wanted to keep the openness to people. Because when you close yourself off to people, you become more controlling. And you actually miss out on some really nice gems out there. And through my past history, I can say when I was closed off, I really seek to control my environment. So this is a big evolution for you right here. You want to move in this one direction. Now it's time to harvest. It's time to go in that direction. It's time to see what you have to go in that direction, even though you feel like it's not enough, but it really is. It's all a test. And right now for this entrepreneur, this family member, this coworker, this friend, this boss, to achieve it, to really solidify it, it's going to come back to you walking hand in hand with your faith, your beliefs, with yourself, and with appreciation. Yep. This is the start of the conclusion right here. Cast away the negativity. That's what's going to help give you that fresh start. This is a big emotional lesson. That negativity has to do with, understanding that these situations, they don't make you. They're not meant to break you. But it has to deal with some kind of karmic energy. We all gotta face karma. Everybody got to face karma. Everybody, especially if you're trying to better yourself. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you're wanting to go in another direction. And again, when you step off into this new direction, sometimes it's very steep. Sometimes this is just the first part. There could be another part that asks for a little bit more. So this part right here was to prepare you. And I know you're feeling like luck isn't on your side. I know you're not seeing that everything is going to come to full circle. I know you're not feeling your fortune. But if you think about it from an athlete's point of view, if you ask a lot of athletes, they see the moves they make before they make them. They concrete it in their mind before they do it. See your moves before you make them. See that you're doing that. See that you're in that really nice place. Here's another detour. I'm this person, I will pray for a lot of people. Even people that I run at odds ends with, especially people I run at odds ends with. I always pray that they find a better place, that they're able to move forward. And you know what was weird? I was going to do that for a current situation I've been facing. And you know what? I stopped myself. I sat there and I did something different. I said, you know what? I wish for them to find what they need to find so they can do their thing. But I wish for myself the best. I wish myself to achieve where I need to go. I wish myself to find the alignment that I need to work through this. So, don't always put it out that you have to do everything and wish everyone else the best. You got to wish yourself the best just as much, if not even more. Don't forget that. I feel like that's really important to share right there. All right, so let's get 3 more cards. 3 more cards. What else needs to come out for the Virgo community? Intuition. Oh man, that's that full moon energy. You gotta trust your gut. You gotta trust your gut. What do you gotta trust your gut on? How you feel. How you feel. That's what's gonna balance things out for you. That's where you're gonna get that bigger perspective, that level up to where, again, even it could be 6 months from now, you can look back and say, oh, I understood why that played out the way it did now. There's that wonderful Garth Brooks song, Unanswered Prayers, and I love this song because he really talks about how he wished for certain things at that time, and it really felt like the end of his world when it wasn't happening. But later on in life, he found himself happy that it all worked out the way it did, because he was blessed with even more. This is one of those situations I'm feeling like. All right, let's see, last card. What is the final card for the Virgo community? It says 3 of them. I'll give you all 3 right here, right now. Seeing that you are a builder, that you construct stuff, that what you're creating can produce the means to support, to help you grow, to get to those achievements. You just got to go through the karma. The karma of dealing with these energies, these unions that weren't meant to last forever. They were only meant to last for this moment and for this lesson. Bringing that healing energy onto what? The beliefs. Like, you're not plagued with bad luck. You're not plagued with a bad life. It's a perspective. And when you see that you're trusting your intuition, that subconscious you is going to release that feeling that it knows that you're protecting it. You're protecting yourself. You're listening to yourself. You're going to start to unblock some things for yourself, so that when this kind of stuff pops up again, you'll be able to see the red flags right away and be able to make a decision that won't have you dealing with it for very long. Or even if you have to deal with it, you will deal with it to the utmost, because you've already risen above it. So at that time, you have to deal with that again. It's going to be just like this little fine thing that you gotta, it's like the spot you missed. And so the divine is asking you to go back and make sure you get that spot, so you have everything fully ready for your next level. Whew. Holy moly, Virgo. I wish I could say that everything's going to be smooth sailing. It's not. It's not. I would lie to you if I told you that being able to reprogram your thoughts was an easy process. It's not. It's one that takes time. It does. And having a outlet is really, really going to be helpful, a creative outlet. Mine is journaling, mine's dancing, mine is like working with words. I love word work. Books, sometimes gaming if I can get to it. But everybody needs time to check out from the stress. That time to check out from the stress will give you another perspective. It will give you maybe time to even see something different and talk to somebody. Maybe somebody has something that will help. Because right here with these thoughts and with the way that this Virgo is feeling about some stuff, you got to release it. You got to release it in a positive way. I always say seeking out professional help, counselors, therapists, psychologists, and a mentor, a matriarch, a evolved matriarch in the family. Somebody who's not just going to tell you that your harsh opinion or your combative view is the right. Because that kind of view keeps you holding on to the negativity. You need somebody who you know is going to help issue out that hard truth, or is going to ask questions for you to be able to be like the hermit and have that light and get to your truth that you're looking for. That's what this is. You may need help to find this tool. And I have something happening at my right ear here. So I'm going to say that's confirmation. It's never dumb to ask for help. It's not a waste of time. You're not a waste of time. How you feel is not a waste of time. I will tell you that, because at one time I did feel like that was for me. I'm gonna be serious. I wanted not to be seen at one time. I've been through so much. But I realized something along the way, and I made the effort to heal myself, to heal my thoughts. And I'm not gonna lie, there's times where those negative thoughts are knocking at the door, especially when I'm going to bed. And I shit you not, I'm over there saying many times over, I am love, I am light, I am working with or for compassion. I'm working to help with compassion. I'm working to help teach others about compassion. It's just those three variables. I am love, I am light, I am compassion. I am love, I am light, and I am compassion. I had one night where I had to say it like 10 times before I went to bed, because I did not want whatever negative was knocking at my mentality back doors getting in. And I speak a lot that there's times where we have to be a warrior for ourselves. You have to rise up when you feel them negative thoughts, and you're going to have to combat that. And that's something that you got to teach yourself, but it's something that you practice. And that's when any kind of self-doubt comes in. All right. So this was fun. This was interesting. I feel like this can be very healing right here. And I hope the Virgo in this story, I hope they see how important, how much of a hard worker they are, how special, and how they have these big ideas to go off in these great directions. And once we heal past this energy, like I said, dealing with others, I hope you see on the other side is you're not even gonna have time for them, because you're gonna smell the shit on their shoe a mile away. All right, so this is gonna conclude it. Thank you so much, Virgo community, for hanging out with me. And don't forget that this is not all me. Your spirit guides, your ancestors, your angels of protection, divine and universal, are here. They are here. Let them in, and let them help protect you from those doubts. Let them in. All right? Thank them. Thank them, thank them, thank them, thank them. All right. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.